Hello, everyone. My name is Jonathan. I will be your host for this portion of Bible Trivia. I'm excited to get started. I hope you are as well. So let's dig right in. Jesus did not say, "I am the life, love, or the vine." The answer is love. Jesus answered, "I am the way, the truth, and the life" in John 14:6. John 15:1, "I am the true vine, and my Father is the gardener." Question 2. Which disciple asked Jesus to show them the Father? Peter, Andrew, or Philip? The answer is Philip. John 14:8. Philip said, "Lord, show us the Father, and that will be enough for us." Question 3. How many basketfuls of leftovers remained after Jesus fed the 5,000? 12, 7, or 10? The answer is 12. Luke 9:17 says they all ate and were satisfied, and the disciples picked up 12 basketfuls of broken pieces that were left over. Question 4. Where was Paul bitten by a viper? Cyprus, Crete, or Malta? The answer is Malta. Acts 28, verse 1 and 3. Once safely on shore, we found out that the island was called Malta. Paul gathered a pile of brushwood and, as he put it on the fire, a viper driven out by the heat fastened itself to his hand. Question 5. Whom did Paul hand over to Satan to be taught to blaspheme? Demas, Alexander, or Hymenaeus? The answer is Demas. 1 Timothy 1:20. Among them are Hymenaeus and Alexander, whom I have handed over to Satan to be taught not to blaspheme. Question 6. The doxology to him who is able to keep you from falling is found in which book? Hebrews, 2 Timothy, or Jude? The answer is Jude. Jude 1:24. To him who is able to keep you from falling and to present you before his glorious presence without fault and with great joy. Question 7. Which tribe of Israel is conspicuously absent from the list of 144,000 in Revelation? Simeon, Dan, or Manasseh? The answer is Dan. Numbers 1 through 42 has more on that, and Revelation 7, 4 through 8. 144,000 from all the tribes of Israel. From the tribe of Judah, 12,000 were sealed. Matthew 7:6, question 8. Do not give dogs what is sacred. Do not throw your blank to pigs. Pearls, food, or seed? The answer is pearls. Matthew 7:6 says, "Do not give dogs what is sacred. Do not throw your pearls to pigs. If you do, they may trample them under their feet and then turn and tear you to pieces." Question 9. Which disciple was a tax collector? Judas, Matthew, or Thomas? The answer is Matthew. Matthew 9:9 says, as Jesus went on from there, he saw a man named Matthew sitting at the tax collector's booth. "Follow me," he told him, and Matthew got up and followed him. Question 10. Jesus healed a woman from bleeding who had suffered for how many years? 10, 12, or 18? The answer is 12. Mark 5:25 says, "And a woman was there who had been subject to bleeding for 12 years. Question 11. Who was chosen as Judas's replacement? Luke, Matthias, or Barsabas? The answer is Matthias. Acts 1:26 says, "Then they cast lots, and the lot fell to Matthias, so he was added to the 11 apostles." Question 12. Which people in the Bible had a reputation of being lazy? Greeks, Romans, or Cretans? The answer is Cretans. Titus 1:12. Even one of their own prophets has said Cretans are always liars, evil brutes, lazy gluttons. Question 13. 2 Timothy 3:1-2. There will be terrible times in the last days. People will be lovers of blank. Riches, themselves, or pleasure. The answer is themselves. 2 Timothy 3:1-2. There will be terrible times in the last days. People will be lovers of themselves, lovers of money. Question 14. Which of the churches below did not receive an address from Jesus in Revelation? Did not receive an address? Sardis, Philadelphia, or Jerusalem? The answer is Jerusalem. Revelation 3:1 says, "To the angel of the church of Sardis write." Revelation 3:7 says, "To the angel of the church in Philadelphia write." Question 15. Jesus did not compare the kingdom of heaven to a net, a treasure, or a palace. The answer is a palace. Matthew 13:44 says, "The kingdom of heaven is like a treasure hidden in the field." Matthew 13:47 says, "The kingdom of heaven is like a net that was let down into the lake and caught all kinds of fish." Question 16. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they will see God, be filled, or live. The answer is see God. Matthew 5:8 says, "Blessed are the pure in heart, for they will see God." Question 17. How did Jesus heal the centurion's servant? By word, touch, or prayer? The answer is word. Luke 7, verse 7 and 10. "But say the word, and my servant will be healed." Verse 10. Then the men who had been sent returned to the house and found the servant well. Question 18. Who was struck down for not giving God honor? Ananias, Elymas, or Herod? The answer is Herod. Acts 12:23. Immediately, because Herod did not give praise to God, an angel of the Lord struck him down, and he was eaten by worms and died. Question 19. Which apostle likened the followers of Jesus to aliens and strangers? Paul, James, or Peter? The answer is Peter. 1 Peter 2:11. Dear friends, I urge you, as aliens and strangers in the world, to abstain from sinful desires which war against your soul. Question 20. Who was the leader of the locusts given power to torment people in the earth, as cited in Revelation? Wormwood, Abaddon, or Lucifer? The answer is Abaddon. Revelation 9:11 says, "They had as king over them the angel of the abyss, whose name in Hebrew is Abaddon, and in Greek, Apollyon. Question 21. Who among the following individuals wasn't listed in the genealogy of Jesus? Rahab, Ham, or Manasseh? The answer is Ham. Matthew 1, 5, and 10. Salmon, the father of Boaz, whose mother was Rahab. Verse 10. Hezekiah, the father of Manasseh. Manasseh, the father of Amon. Amon, the father of Josiah. Question 22. Who was jailed with Paul after delivering a slave girl from a spirit able to predict the future? Barnabas, Timothy, or Silas? The answer is Silas. Acts 16, 22 through 23 says, the crowd joined in the attack against Paul and Silas, and the magistrate ordered them to be stripped and beaten. After they had been severely flogged, they were thrown into prison. Question 23. 1 John 3:18. Dear children, let us not love with blank or tongue, but with actions and in truth. Words, speech, or lies? The answer is words. 1 John 3:18. Dear children, let us not love with words or tongue, but with actions and in truth. Question 24. Which prophet predicted Paul's imprisonment in Jerusalem? Justus, Junius, or Agabus? The answer is Agabus. Acts 21, 10 and 11 says, a prophet named Agabus came down from Judea. He took Paul's belt, tied his own hands and feet with it, and said, the Holy Spirit says, in this way the Jews of Jerusalem will bind the owner of this belt. Question 25. How many husbands did the Samaritan woman at the well previously have? 5, 4, or 3? The answer is 5. John 4:17 says, Jesus said to her, you are right when you say you have no husband. The fact is you have had 5 husbands, and man you now have is not your husband. What you have just said is quite true. Question 26. Which apostle described the tongue as a restless evil? Paul, Peter, or James? The answer is James. James 3:8 says, but no man can tame the tongue. It is a restless evil, full of deadly poison. Question 27. What approximate amount of offering did Jesus observe to be the most given by an individual? A denarius, a cent, or a talent? The answer is a cent. Mark 12:42 and 43 says, but a poor widow came and put in 2 very small copper coins, worth only a fraction of a cent. Jesus said, I tell you the truth, this poor widow has put more into the treasury than all the others. Question 28. Who among the following wasn't listed as one of the 7 deacons? Stephen, Philip, or Jason? The answer is Jason. Acts 6:5 says, this proposal pleased the whole group. They chose Stephen, a man full of faith and of the Holy Spirit, also Philip, Prochorus, Nicanor, Timon, Parmenas, and Nicholas from Antioch, a convert to Judaism. Question 29. Ephesians 6:16 says, take up the shield of blank, with which you can extinguish all the flaming arrows of the evil one. Salvation, faith, or peace? The answer is faith. Ephesians 6:16 says, in addition to all this, take up the shield of faith, with which you can extinguish all the flaming arrows of the evil one. Question 30. Philippians 2:13 says, for it is God who works in you to blank and act according to his good purpose. Will, believe, or hope? The answer is will. Philippians 2:13. for it is God who works in you to will and to act according to his good purpose. Question 31. Jesus told his disciples to be as shrewd as blank: doves, foxes, or snakes. The answer is snakes. Matthew 10:16 says, I am sending you out like sheep among wolves. Therefore be as shrewd as snakes and as innocent as doves. Question 32. Which mountain did Jesus go to often to spend quiet time with God? Gerizim, Tabor, or Olives? The answer is Olives. Luke 21:37 says, each day Jesus was teaching at the temple, and each evening he went out to spend the night on the hill called the Mount of Olives. Question 33. Which of the following is not a gift of the Holy Spirit? Faith, love, or wisdom? The answer is love. 1 Corinthians 12:8-9 says, to one there is given through the Spirit the message of wisdom, to another the message of knowledge by means of the same Spirit, to another faith by the same Spirit. Question 34. Which lady did not play an active role in supporting the ministry of Jesus? Joanna, Lydia, or Susanna? The answer is Lydia. Luke 8:3 says, Joanna, the wife of Chuza, the manager of Herod's household, Susanna, and many others. These women were helping to support them out of their own means. Question 35. Romans 12:9. Love must be blank. Hate what is evil, cling to what is good. Sincere, kind, or just? The answer is sincere. Romans 12:9 says, love must be sincere. Hate what is evil, cling to what is good. Question 36. Whose acts of service rose up as a memorial offering to God? Dorcas's, Cornelius's, or Aeneas's? The answer is Cornelius's. Acts 10:4 says, Cornelius stared at him in fear. What is it, Lord? He asked. The angel answered, your prayers and gifts to the poor have come up as a memorial offering before God. Question 37. Which man carried the dubious distinction of loving to be first? Demetrius, Demas, or Diotrephes? The answer is Diotrephes. 3 John 9 says, I write to the church, but Diotrephes, who loves to be first, will have nothing to do with us. Question 38. The blasphemous woman in Revelation was associated with which city? Sodom, Rome, or Babylon? The answer is Babylon. Revelation 17:5 says, this title was written on her forehead, Mystery Babylon, the Great, the mother of prostitutes and of the abominations of the earth. Question 39. James 1:9, the brother in humble circumstances ought to take pride in his blank position. Low, high, or humble? The answer is high. James 1:9 says the brother in humble circumstances ought to take pride in his high position. Question 40. Whom does God discipline according to Hebrews 12:5? His sons, foes, or angels? The answer is sons. Hebrews 12:5 and 6 says, forgotten that word of encouragement that addresses you as sons. My son, do not make light of the Lord's discipline, because the Lord disciplines those he loves and punishes everyone he accepts as a son. That is all of the questions. How did you do? Let us know in the comments. Hopefully you did all right. If not, better luck next time. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.